Alright boys, she's clean, de-animaled, degreased. Let's get home. So far, my Ford Ranger has been really versatile.
Yeah, Nick, a good workbench.
It's a good workbench. It's a good paint booth. It's a good paint booth, workbench, and burn table. Good little truck. Does good snow drifts too. Do not call Environment Canada or the government on me for burning rubber. Fucking downtown Baghdad or some shit. Just sizzling. So yeah, this is just one way to get the bushings out. You can cut them and smack them with hammers and stuff like that.
Get a bush and puller.
Bush and puller. I'm just gonna burn them out. There's only 4 of them, but all in the name of refurbishing your 240 subframe. Anyway, nobody wants to really watch rubber burn, so I'm gonna stop it. Bingo, whammo, dango. A few videos back, I was removing my subframe, and unfortunately, I snapped a stud. So I am at this parts car. Believe it or not, don't dislike the video. This used to be a hatch. There's literally nothing left on this side of the car. It's all been cut out and used to fix other chassis. But currently, just heating it up so I can bang it out. I just want to put a little disclaimer here. I did post a video of smashing out a coupe windshield, and I got a lot of flack for it. I guess it made a lot of people angry. But the thing is, I respect parts cars. I respect that this car lived, it died.
Not much room down here,
is now
right?
helping other cars survive on the road. You have to take that into account.
Some prayers.
You need parts cars to keep these rolling. So please don't get bent out of shape. It is what it is, my friend.
Holy.
At this point, I'm getting really frustrated. So I heated up one more time. And shortly after this, I just shut my phone off. And what I ended up doing is I put a nut on the end of the stud, and I put a jack underneath of it. And I jacked the car up a little tiny bit from the stud. And then I took a hammer and I beat around the floor to get it free. Haggard, but it worked. So as you saw from the previous clip, I went to a parts car and I hammered out a new stud. So we're one step closer to putting the subframe in. So I just took this out of the freezer. I had this in the freezer for 24 hours. You can kind of see the frost on it. And I'm about ready to go toss it in. So let's do it. Climb on in here. Peel this back again. So it's just like a wheel stud. It has some kind of grooves on it. Just gonna toss it in and hope for the best, I suppose. It's held up on the floor. Didn't want to go through there. Out of the way. So now what I have to do is kind of jiggle it around and try to get it to seat into those grooves. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but you can feel it. It goes in and you go above it, tap it in with a hammer, you're all set.
So what I did is I went to the other side and I took my tape measure and I measured, and the stud that's over there is right to the 4. And this one is a little bit off still. So I'm gonna keep hitting it with a hammer, and that should be good.
So that's how I remove the bushing race. Honestly, I don't even know if it's called the bearing race. There's so many layers to these stupid fucking bushings. But as you saw, it was just a simple slice, flathead. You're done. I've done all but one using that method, and it's been so easy. So as you saw, I burned them out first. But I'm going to do that one off camera, and then we're going to get pressing these GK Tech bushings in.
That's the type of cut you want to do. Literally started falling out on its own. I don't know why people complain about doing these bushings. Wow, super easy. I don't know if melting them out heated this up and did some things to the metal, but that was so easy.
You may laugh at me being a Canadian, but I don't have to put my parts in the freezer. I have my own. Hell yeah.
Before you go ramming the bushings in there dry, take a nice piece of 80 grit, I recommend, and just, holy crap, get it clean. Just sand it out. Should only take a couple minutes. Get it nice and clean. I was sanding this one out, and I noticed it was it kind of looked like it had a layer on it. Comes to find out, there was still like a layer of the bushing. So, flathead and a hammer. Anyway, let's get this thing in now. Here we go. Got it out of the snowbank. It's all cold. Apparently this shrinks it, so it goes in easier. We're about to find out. Crap. Snow everywhere. You guys up right here for another awesome time lapse with some free YouTube music. Love that. There we go. Every single one is installed. Conquered what I wanted to do. I'm going to end the video there. I hope this helped you understand how to install these bushings. It might not have been the proper way, but for a guy in a garage just like yourself, a hammer does the job, as you can see. Next video, I don't really want to give too much away, but I'm going to be painting the subframe. And also, I ordered ISR arms, ISR everything. So I'm waiting on that to come in. In the meantime, there may be another couple filler videos. I do know I have to finish sanding over there, do my rear rail, and a few other odds and ends. But we'll get back to the subframe. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy working on my car. If you like the videos, you'll like them. If you don't, give me one of those. But until next time, see you later. And don't be scared to tackle things, man. You can get it done. If I can do it, you can do it too. Peace.